Will you open your eyes? It's a wonder what you'll find with an open mind. You may be surprised. Yeah, gotta get away from this illusion for the sake of the world. This delusion, it's gotta go.
Hello everyone, and welcome again to another swell episode of the Atheist Experience. I'm your host, Russell Glasser, and I know this is going to be a good show for two reasons. One is that my favorite co-host is here, Jeff D.
Thank you, Russell.
And the other is that the phones are sort of working again. So if you've suffered through the last month of no callers, it's not actually going to get a lot better this episode because you can call in now, but you can't talk at the same time as us. So what we're going to do is give you like 2 minutes to say your thing and then hang up, and then we will address it. So it's a bit better, and we're prepared with news if we need it. So everybody sit tight. Today is Sunday, January 9th, 2011. We are this is the first live show of 2011?
I think this is the first
awesome
live show of 2011.
We are breaking in the new year. We're a live call-in public access show based in Austin, Texas, and we're also available on the internet. You can check us out at ustream.tv, find out the details and anything else that you need to know at our website, www.atheist-experience.com. Find out more about our parent organization at www.atheist-community.org, and check out the unofficial show blog at atheistexperience.blogspot.com, and you can email us at tv@atheist-community.org, or dash, always whatever. If you enjoy the show today, we're not meeting at Threadgill's. This being a new year, we're staking out a new place, and we're going to start out for the next few episodes going to El Arroyo on 1624 West 5th Street in downtown Austin, and I'll repeat that a few times just in case people tune in late. How have you been, Jeff?
I've been okay, Russell. Thank you. Yourself?
Very well, thanks. Good. A generic holiday?
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
I got kind of horribly sick on New Year's Eve.
I'm sorry, but good thing you're all better now, right?
I did not have a good beginning to my new year. I'm functional again.
Okay, that is a good thing.
Working really hard, trying to make a buck.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Me too. So do you want to, let's see, while we wait for callers to line up, do you want to bring up something, or do you want me to first?
Why don't you start? You got more than me.
All right. I would like to start with one of my favorite guys, Bill O'Reilly. Oh no, where'd he go?
I think you can remember what that story's about, though, can't you?
So Bill O'Reilly had I guess he's the president of the American Atheists, Dave Silverman, on the O'Reilly Factor, which, I'm not sure if people should go on that show or not, but anyway, Dave Silverman is talking about his American Atheists' new ad campaign, they're all scams billboards.
Yeah.
American Atheists, telling the truth since 1963. And Bill O'Reilly does not take kindly to atheists. And so he had an argument which it was clear he thought was totally nailing Dave Silverman. He said, and these are the abridged quotes, "I'll tell you why it's not a scam in my opinion. Tide goes in, tide goes out. Never a miscommunication. You can't explain that. I say, listen, sun goes up, sun goes down. Tide comes in, tide goes out. There's no miscommunication. The sun goes up.
Miscommunication.
I don't know. He kept saying that.
It's like you know you see cartoons where like in a person's body there's all these little men running around operating the heart and the kidneys and the liver and stuff, and they have these little telephones,
little guys in hard hats, like sending telegraphs to each
That's
other.
apparently
Time for
the
sun to
way
go down.
he thinks the universe is.
Yes.
It has all these little men behind the curtains. And because they manage to pull it off the same way every time, that's proof that that there's not, in fact, a lot.
Well, I mean,
what communication would there need to be if, in fact, it was all being caused by one single omnipotent creator being?
Well, there's a dude watching the clock down on Earth because God is.
That would take at least two dudes. You don't have. There's no
Yeah.
such thing as communication within a single omnipresent entity.
I don't know.
Is he Catholic, though? They kind of believe in multiple
I
deities.
believe that he is Catholic. Oh, no.
Whoa, hey.
Don't
They're
do
experimenting in the control room.
that. Yeah. So Stephen Colbert had this to say, like all great theologies, bills can be boiled down into one sentence. There must be a God because I don't know how things work.
Yeah. Do we need I guess it's possible we have viewers out there who don't understand
Well, I mean, the funny thing
physics
about
behind
the sun
tides and the sunrise.
The funny thing about the sun one is that not only does Bill O'Reilly not understand how it works, but the sun doesn't actually go up and down.
Right. The Earth rotates, and we're on it. It rotates relative to the sun.
That is true.
And so it appears that the sun goes up and down.
I mean,
right? We dispense with that one. Now tides.
There was a point where they believed that Ra would ride across the sky in his barge every day.
Never a miscommunication.
Right. The ferryman, the guy at the dock, never was late and stopped Ra from leaving on schedule.
Right. Tides. We have a moon.
The moon.
The moon is not as big as the Earth, but it still exerts a gravitational pull. And that gravitational pull affects the oceans on the Earth. And that's tides, right?
Pretty much,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, when the moon moves in a certain direction, the water of the Earth actually elongates slightly into an ellipse, which is pulled in the direction of the moon, so it's longer that way. And that's why it gets high in one place while it's low in another place. Science!
Because of physics, there's no communication whatsoever. Therefore, no miscommunications and no God required.
Of course, like usual, when a theist proposes a proof that there is a God, if this proof should fail, the proper scientific thing to do would be to say, oh, that proof didn't work, therefore this is now evidence against my God, because that's what a proper scientific
Because I defined my God in a way that proof is evidence of him. And if the proof doesn't work, you don't have that evidence of the God.
Yeah, and the way you set up a science experiment is you think of a thing that would be a test for God, or a test for the thing that you're trying to hypothesize, and then you honestly run the experiment, and if it turns out that it doesn't match your expectations, then you say, okay, this makes my hypothesis less likely to be true. But Bill O'Reilly would not do that. He was just throwing out whatever crap came into his head.
Should we maybe jump straight from this to the Pope weighing in on cosmology?
Why, certainly we should.
Because it's related, right? It's again this lackadaisical attitude that even religious people who claim not to be anti-science, they get away with that by just not understanding the science.
Right. I mean, they all give lip service to science. They say, actually, if you study science properly, it confirms a God. But then they never really care that much about matching up to the scientific method, which is kind of why Feynman coined the term cargo cult science, which you can look up, because we're not going to spend too much of our hour on that.
So what did the Pope say specifically?
The universe is not the result of chance, as some would want to make us believe, Pope Benedict said on the day Christians marked the Epiphany. This is from Catholic.org, by the way, so I don't know what their slant is going to be, but I can guess. The day the Bible says the three kings reached the site where Jesus was born by following a star. The Pope reiterated that God's plan was behind even such theories as the Big Bang, and Christians should reject the idea that the universe came into being by accident.
Nobody's saying the universe came into existence by accident. In Stephen Hawking's latest book, he says the universe came into existence inevitably because of fundamental, uncaused physical principles.
Right.
So already he's attacking a straw man.
The universe is not the result of chance, as some would want us to believe, Pope Benedict said. They're repeating the first paragraph. Contemplating it, we are invited to read something profound into it. The wisdom of the Creator, the inexhaustible creativity of God, the Pope said in a sermon to some 10,000 people in St. Peter's Basilica on the feast day. The Pope has rarely discussed specific concepts such as the Big Bang, which scientists believe led to, of course,
and I think that's been a good policy.
Yes. Led to the formation of the universe some 13.7 billion years ago. Well, this is random in this article, but researchers at CERN, the Nuclear Research Center in Geneva, have been smashing protons together at near the speed of light to simulate the conditions that they believe brought into existence in the primordial universe from which stars, planets, and life on Earth came into being. Benedict states that much scientific theorizing is mind-limiting because they only arrive at a certain point and do not manage to explain the ultimate sense of reality.
Can I just sort of rephrase that?
Yes.
Yeah, science is mind-limiting. It only leaves you, free to postulate things that you can actually prove.
That's so limiting.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't leave you completely free to just make shit up. And call that important.
Why are you so close-minded that the shit I make up is not treated with equal seriousness as stuff that has been observed and tested?
Yeah.
That angers me.
Yeah. Well, I do want to make a comment on this, the appearance by the American Atheist representative on the Bill O'Reilly show.
Yes.
I just want to say I'm not a big fan of that particular billboard. You know they're all scams.
Yeah.
Because that implies that there is currently behind every religion a conscious awareness that they're not true and all they're trying to do is rip people off. And I think that's going a little bit too far. Not a lot too far, but a little bit too far.
Okay, I agree with you if that's their point. But I'll give you an alternate spin on it,
okay.
which might be their point, and I guess we'd have to.
I would love to like their billboard better. Go ahead.
I think when somebody does a billboard with a giant cheeseburger and it says, something like, you want one. It is not assumed that every single person looking at the billboard is going to actually want a cheeseburger, like if they're vegetarian or something.
Yeah.
But instead, it's meant to target the people for whom that would be particularly appealing.
Yeah.
And if there happen to be a bunch of people driving past the board and a few of them look at it and say, it's a scam? That's interesting.
Yeah, but the implication is that the people that they are talking to all are aware that religions are all scams, and the sense of the word scam that I'm objecting to, is a thing which I think is going a bit far. They're still saying that. They think it's inaccurate. Right. I mean, if there was a big billboard with a burger on it and said, it's made of soy protein, and we don't actually know that, I'd have the same kind of objection.
So if the billboard said, that it's all wishful thinking.
Right. I have no problem with that. And
billboard.
After hearing Bill O'Reilly, I'm tempted to suggest a rephrasing, they're all ignoramuses. But even that's probably still going too far. But I just want to make that point.
Okay.
And it was brought to my attention by him.
So what we're going to do now is, I think, spin the roulette wheel, pull the casino handle, and see what happens when we push the button that brings up someone on the phone.
Let's try it.
So as I just want to remind people who are on the phones, we cannot have a conversation today, apparently. There are technical issues still going on in the studio. So we're going to let you talk for a little while and then try to hang up within 2 minutes unless you've got something really great to say. So we'll see how this works. First, we have Luca in New York.